What if the greatest love story in history was also the greatest crime? A love so dangerous it cost a man his body, a woman her freedom, and both of them everything. This is not fiction. This happened. In 12th century Paris, two souls dared to love each other in a world designed to destroy them. Stay until the end, because the final twist of this story will leave you breathless. Paris, 1115. The city is alive with philosophy, religion, and power. The Catholic Church rules everything, every thought, every body, every desire. And in the middle of this world stands the most brilliant man in Europe, Pierre Abelard, scholar, philosopher, the man students walked hundreds of miles to hear lecture. He was arrogant, magnetic, and utterly convinced of his own genius. He had never met his match, until her. Heloise d'Argenteuil, 17 years old, and already, shockingly, one of the most educated women in all of France. She read Latin, Greek, and Hebrew. She debated theology. In a world where women were property, Heloise was a force of nature. Her uncle Fulbert, a canon of Notre Dame, was so proud of her intellect that he hired Abelard himself to tutor her. He even let Abelard live in their home. It was the most catastrophic mistake of his life. Abelard later wrote, and these are his own words, that he sought Heloise not for her knowledge, but for her love. He engineered the tutoring arrangement as a trap, and Heloise, brilliant as she was, never stood a chance. They fell, deeply, madly, completely. Their lessons turned to whispers. Their whispers turned to letters. Their letters turned to something neither of them could control. When Heloise became pregnant, Abelard secretly took her to Brittany, where she gave birth to their son. They named him astrolabe, after the scientific instrument, a name that tells you everything about who these two people were. To quiet the scandal, Abelard proposed a secret marriage. Heloise refused, not because she didn't love him, but because she loved him too much. She argued that marriage would destroy his career, his reputation, his genius. She told him she would rather be his lover than his wife. These words, written by her own hand, still survive today. They married in secret anyway, but Fulbert, shamed and furious, told everyone. The secret exploded, and then Fulbert did something so savage, so brutal, it echoed through centuries. He hired men to break into Abelard's room at night and castrate him. Abelard survived, but he was destroyed. Humiliated beyond recovery, he retreated to a monastery and forced Heloise, who was not yet 20, into a convent. She had no say, no choice. She obeyed the man she loved and disappeared behind stone walls. Years passed. Abelard wrote a memoir, a confession of his sins and his suffering. When Heloise read it, she wrote back, and what followed was one of the most extraordinary correspondences in all of human history. She did not write as a broken woman. She wrote as a philosopher, a theologian, and a woman who refused to pretend she had stopped loving him. She told him the truth that most people bury, that she entered the convent for him, not for God, that she still dreamed of him, that no vow could erase what she felt. Abelard, for his part, urged her toward God. He called her his sister in Christ. Some historians say he was protecting her. Others say he had simply moved on, leaving her to suffer alone in her devotion. They never met again. Abelard died in 1142. Heloise survived him by over 20 years, becoming a respected abbess, a leader of her convent, honored across France. She had transformed her prison into her kingdom. When she died in 1164, according to legend, her last wish was to be buried with him. And when they opened Abelard's tomb to place her inside, his arms opened to receive her. Whether that is truth or myth, it doesn't matter. Their remains were later moved to Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris, where they lie together today. Visitors still leave love letters on their tomb 900 years later. If this story moved you, if you believe love like this deserves to be remembered, hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second and it means everything to this channel. Subscribe to Echoes of Forbidden Love because every week we unbury the love stories history tried to erase. And leave a comment below. Do you think Heloise ever truly forgave Abelard? I read every single one. Heloise once wrote, "It is not the deed, but the intention that makes the crime or the merit of virtue." She loved without apology. She suffered without breaking. She is still speaking, if you know where to listen. Until next time, some loves are forbidden, none are forgotten.